What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, your man, Sneaks. Back out with another video, and today we're doing yet another tier list ranking. Oh yeah, and today we're going to be doing a tier list ranking of all The Last of Us Season 2 episodes ranked from the worst to the best. But before we get sexual, beginning of the video, what's up, guys? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, us maybe help with the YouTube algorithm. Recommend the video to more people, and maybe they could join. That's it. And do feel free to comment your rankings down below. With that being said, guys, let's go into before going to here are the categories we have here today. All right, so we have best of the best, which means they are a perfect episode. I love them. Great means they come close to best of the best, but there's a minor flaw holding them back. Toxic goodness means it was a good episode. It was a solid episode. Okay means overall it was a mixed bag. I didn't know necessarily how to feel. And then toxic trash means dumpster fire. The worst episodes of The Last of Us Season 2. And also I'm watching this from... I watched this TV show with having played some of the second game. So, alright, let's get this into gear, shall we? Alright, so first up we have, of course, the first episode. And I don't have the titles on the top of my head, so just keep that in mind. But the first episode was a solid episode. I think after the bottle episode, I think this enhanced this episode quite a bit. I think that the ending of the episode where it left off originally, I was kind of happy with. I think it was well acted. I like the whole entire scene you see right there with Ellie and Dina at the end of the year party. I thought that was very well executed, and it seemed like they pulled it out straight from the game. However, they made... You're probably going to hear this complaint quite a bit through this season, but they made Ellie a very, very unlikable character in this series, unfortunately. But I do think this was a solid episode to introduce the show. So it goes into toxic goodness. It was a good episode. Then we have the episode. If you know, you know. Best of the best. One of the best episodes of television I've seen in a very, very long time. They did a great job at making it faithful to the games with Joel's death and everything. And I also forgot to mention, this is spoilers, by the way. I forgot to, so I'll put a spoiler warning at the beginning of the video. But yes, there is spoiler talk here. I thought that the way they executed Joel's death was perfect, and I love the little detail that they added where Abby in the game is much more, like, jacked, if that makes sense. So in this episode with Caitlin Deering, I'm pretty sure that's where her name is, as Abby, they make it, since she's not as, like, jacked as that character is, they make it where she basically, it takes more than a couple of hits to take out Joel than what happens in the game where it was only like a few blows from Abby that took out Joel. And then this one, they made it increasingly tougher for her to kill Joel. So I like that little detail that they had. Great acting from Bella Ramsey at the end when the final killing blow happens. As well, I enjoyed the stuff, the little, not invasion, the little breakthrough that happens at, the town with Tommy and everything, with the whole entire outbreak of the zombies. Sorry, that's the term I was looking for, that outbreak of the clickers and everything. I thought that part of the game was that part of the story was pretty cool, and it wasn't originally in the game, so I thought that was a cool little thing. The whole entire bloater sequence at the end, it had me a little worried. I was going, are they going to kill Tommy too? And change things that happened from the game? I was going, okay, let's see what happens, but Tommy ended up surviving, so good. And that was a great sequence. Overall, it was just a great, phenomenal episode. And whenever I revisit this season, this is probably the episode this or another episode we'll talk about later on, I'll probably revisit the most. Next up, we got episode 3. So this is basically the, whatchamacallit episode. the morning episode. And it was okay to me. I think the first few parts of the episode worked with Ellie grieving. Then you also have Tommy grieving, and that one heartbreaking line that happens when Tommy's looking at Joel's body. He holds Joel's dead hand and says, "Give Sarah my regards." That was such a heartbreaking line and great little scene there. As well, I do think the little not friendship, but the little dynamic we have in here with the homophobic guy from the first episode and the first part of The Last of Us Season 2 video game, where in the game he basically just gives you sandwiches and that's it. In this one, they actually kind of make a little... They squash the beef between Ellie and him a little bit, where they're trying to stop Abby and everyone, which I thought that was a nice little touch. However, everything else in this episode, quite forgettable, to be honest with you. I don't think everything hit, unfortunately, but I still enjoyed those aspects of the episode. I'll put it in okay. Next up, we have the train episode. That's why I remember it from. And I thought that train sequence was actually really, really good. So that's the reason why I put it on here. As well, this is the... Sorry. Hold on, I'm taking a drink of water. This is the episode that has Dina and Ellie fully acknowledge their love for each other. And thought the way that they used that was good in the episode. The train sequence, as I said before, was amazing in this. And the only really big negative I have with this episode is just play the clip.
I'm gonna be a dad.
Brother,
Who wrote that? Anyway, other than that, it was a pretty solid episode. It's not one of the best, it's not one of the worst, so I'll put it there. Okay, this episode I completely forgot about. I think this is this is probably the most forgettable episode on this whole entire list, if I'm being honest. So I'll put it in okay for that reason. So this involves Jesse catching up with Joel, and not Joel, catching up with Ellie and Dina, and him eventually finding out that Dina is pregnant. That's what this episode and I believe it's the episode that ends with Ellie killing the one of Abby's friends at the end, which that was a very like to say, how do I say it, a very hardcore moment by Ellie, how she's basically just breathing the fumes in because she can't get infected, while the other girl is getting breathing it in and going like, "Why aren't you getting infected?" And she says, "I'm not," and then just lets her die there. That was such a great way to end the episode. But everything else, like, I don't remember anything else about it. Is this the episode that Ellie gets hanged? I forgot. But yeah, don't remember anything. Next up, we got the second to last episode and the bottle episode that you have in here. And this is also best of the best. I loved the flashbacks we got with Joel and Ellie in this film. In this episode, I cannot speak. I as well thought that the acting in here was phenomenal. That final scene that you get in here with Ellie and Joel just talking and trying to make amends with everything that happened in the earlier part of the episode with Joel killing the one guy from I forgot the actor's name, but killing him, and that was a very important moment in the episode that definitely made it top tier. I just loved everything about this, how it kind of explored fatherhood in a sense where Joel is trying to be a better father than his father was, and then also telling Ellie, "I hope you do better than I end up doing as a father." Or mother, or just parent as a parent. So I thought they did great job at that, encapsulating that. Next up, we have the final episode. And, okay, if this was just a normal episode, this would probably go a little bit higher. But since it is the final episode... Sorry, toxic trash. Like, man, I'm a little miffed. Again, they make Ellie a very unlikable character in this. I will give the episode its credit. It has the one good moment with her accidentally killing the pregnant woman that's friends with Abby. I thought that was an effective moment, but everything else, she's unlikable in this. Jesse's death feels like it's rushed as all heck. And then the way they end on it with... And I forgot to mention, this was an issue with the whole entire TV series, basically, for me. They do not show Abby a whole lot at all. She only appears at the beginning of the first episode. She appears mostly in the second episode, and then she just disappears until she pops up again in the final episode at the end, which I'm guessing probably the next season, which I think they did confirm it. It's going to follow Abby's perspective of everything. So after she kills Joel, basically, that's going to happen, which that's going to be annoying because then we'll have to wait another season for the final season that will probably wrap things all up for the season 2 storyline. The second game's storyline. So that's very, very annoying. And we all know Tommy isn't dead, so there's that. But yeah, as a episode, it would be fine, but if as a finale, it is toxic trash, unfortunately. But ladies and gentlemen, that is just my thoughts on The Last of Us Season 2. Be sure to let me know your rankings of all the episodes down below. But with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace.